Russia-Ukraine war, June 14. Ukraine destroys Russian UAV command post. Moscow concentrates troops to tighten grip on Donetsk. The Russia-Ukraine war on June 14 saw several notable developments on the battlefield. Reports indicate that Russia is concentrating troops across multiple fronts in Donetsk province. Ukraine destroyed a Russian UAV command center in Zaporizhia, and Russia returned another 1,200 bodies of Ukrainian soldiers. Russia tightens Donetsk grip. Ukraine strikes Russian UAV command post. In June 13, Ukrainian forces reported that Russia was preparing its troops and intensifying attacks along various fronts in Donetsk province. According to Ukrainian news agency Ukrinform, in Toretsk, Russian troops are concentrating forces and ramping up assaults near the settlement of Yablonivka. In Kramatorsk, Russian forces are gathering manpower in preparation for offensive operations. Ukraine also observed a constant movement of Russian forces toward Chasiv Yar, despite no major clashes occurring there so far. Only small-scale attacks by groups of 2 to 3 Russian soldiers targeting Ukrainian positions. And another development, the Ukrainian Air Force released footage of its MiG-29 fighter jets striking Russian military targets in Zaporizhia province. According to Ukrinform, the targets included a UAV command post and a complex storing ammunition and fuel. However, the Ukrainian Air Force did not disclose the exact location of the airstrike. The Air Force expressed gratitude to international partners for providing guided bombs used in the attack. Also in the early hours of June 13, Ukraine reportedly launched drone attacks on Russian military sites in Simferopol district, Crimea. According to the Ukrainian-founded partisan group Atesh, the strike damaged an air defense missile system and caused Russian casualties. Russia returns additional 1,200 bodies of Ukrainian soldiers on June 13. Russia returned the remains of another 1,200 Ukrainian soldiers, which have since been repatriated to Ukraine. Russian media noted that Moscow did not receive any Russian soldiers' bodies from Ukraine in return. This transfer follows another on June 11, when Ukraine repatriated 1,212 bodies of its fallen troops. At that time, Moscow said it had received the bodies of 27 Russian soldiers from Ukraine. Russia updates weekly war report. Also on June 13, Russia's Ministry of Defense released a weekly update on the war. According to the report, Russian forces captured 5 settlements in Donetsk province and 1 in Sumy province over the past week. In addition, Russian forces reportedly shot down 1 Neptune missile, 18 JDAM bombs, 9 rockets launched from HIMARS systems, and 1,582 Ukrainian drones. Russian combat units continued to inflict heavy casualties on Ukrainian forces over the week. The Central Military Group inflicted the highest number of Ukrainian casualties, estimated at 3,660 soldiers. Donetsk frontline at the center of fighting on June 13. Ukraine's General Staff reported a total of 41 clashes between Russian and Ukrainian forces. The most intense fighting occurred in Donetsk province, specifically near Kurakhov, Pokrovsk, and Kramatorsk, as Russia attempted to breach Ukrainian defenses, according to Ukrinform. Russian forces also bombarded Kharkiv province with glide bombs launched from Russian territory. From Belgorod province, Russia launched 3 separate strikes on the city of Vovchansk. Ukrainian regions bordering Russia, such as Sumy and Chernihiv provinces, continued to suffer from Russian cross-border artillery attacks. Russia. Over 1,000 Ukrainian troops eliminated in Donetsk. In its June 13 update, Russia's Ministry of Defense reported strikes on Ukrainian units and equipment in 103 areas. According to TASS, in Kharkiv province, Russian forces repelled 8 Ukrainian counterattacks and inflicted casualties on 2 Ukrainian brigades. Ukraine's total losses in the region reached 305 soldiers, along with 5 armored vehicles, 1 M777 155mm howitzer, 1 D-20 152mm howitzer, and a BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launcher. Azov soldiers killed in Donetsk. Russia claims control of Yablonovka. Key highlights from the Russia-Ukraine war briefing on the morning of June 14. Russia launches massive assault on Donetsk. Azov soldiers killed. According to Pravda, Russia's Ministry of Defense recently released another update on military operations in Ukraine. In the Northern Operational Zone, under Russia's Northern Combat Group, Ukrainian forces reportedly suffered 155 casualties. Russian units attacked the troops and equipment of 1 heavy mechanized brigade, 3 mechanized brigades, 2 airborne brigades, 1 mountain infantry brigade, 1 assault regiment, and 4 territorial defense brigades of Ukraine. Clashes occurred near Khotin, Pisarevka, Verokino, Besilovka, and Sadki, Sumy province. Ukraine lost 2 tanks, 2 armored fighting vehicles, 2 utility vehicles, and 10 field artillery systems. Additionally, 1 ammunition depot and 2 electronic warfare (EW) systems were destroyed. Heavy Russian strikes in Donetsk. Azov unit casualties reported in the western sector. Russian forces reported repositioning to more favorable locations while launching attacks on Ukrainian forces belonging to 2 mechanized brigades, 1 assault brigade, and 1 territorial defense brigade. Fighting took place near Kupiansk and Moskovka, Kharkiv province, as well as Karpovka and Yampol, self-declared Donetsk People's Republic. Ukraine reportedly lost 2 tanks, 12 vehicles, and 6 artillery systems. 4 EW systems and 5 ammunition depots were also destroyed. In the southern operational zone, Russian forces claimed tactical advances and attacks on units from 3 mechanized brigades, 1 mechanized infantry brigade, 1 airborne brigade, 1 territorial defense brigade, and 1 National Guard brigade, the Azov regiment. The assault resulted in dozens of Ukrainian casualties, including members of an Azov brigade. Battles occurred near Minkovka, Fyodorovka, Serebryanka, Klevenby-Wake, Petrovka, Chasevyar, Belaya Gora, and Konstantinovka, Donetsk. Ukrainian losses included 2 vehicles, 1 field artillery system, 1 EW system, and 2 ammunition depots. Russia stated that its forces also engaged units from 1 heavy mechanized brigade, 4 mechanized brigades, 1 mountain assault infantry brigade, 1 airborne brigade, 1 mobile infantry brigade, 1 UAV brigade, and 1 National Guard brigade. These battles took place near Stepanovka, Krasnoarmysk, Dmitrov, Gradovka, Novonikolavka, and Novopavlovka, Donetsk People's Republic, and near Novopodgorodnoye, Dnipropetrovsk province. Ukraine lost 5 armored fighting vehicles, including 1 M113, 4 vehicles, and 6 artillery systems. In the eastern sector, Russian forces continued to push through Ukrainian defensive lines. They engaged forces from 2 mechanized brigades, 1 mountain infantry brigade, and 1 territorial defense brigade. Fighting occurred near Zaporizhzhia, Shevchenko, Komar, Donetsk, and Guliapol, Zaporizhzhia province. Ukrainian losses included 3 armored fighting vehicles, 5 vehicles, 4 artillery systems, and 1 EW system. The Dnipro Combat Group attacked forces from 1 mechanized brigade, 2 coastal defense brigades, and 1 territorial defense brigade. Clashes occurred near Dudchany, Zmayevka, Ponyutovka, Tyajinka, and Antonovka, Kherson province. Ukrainian losses were 11 vehicles, 3 artillery systems, 2 EW systems, 1 ammunition depot, and 1 Rada RPS-42 counter-battery radar. Russia claims control of Yablanovka. Ukrainian forces withdraw according to Severny Veter. Russian forces are continuing their offensive towards Sumy despite Ukrainian efforts to resist and fortify positions. Recently, units from Russia's Sever North group reportedly drove Ukrainian forces out of Yablanovka village and seized control of the area. Throughout the confrontation, Ukraine reinforced the area with the 41st and 156th Mechanized Brigades, the 132nd Independent Reconnaissance Battalion, and the 80th, 82nd, and 95th Airborne Assault Brigades. However, according to Russian sources, Russian airborne units breached the Ukrainian defensive lines, forcing a retreat. Remaining Ukrainian troops have reportedly withdrawn to Kharkovshchina, south of Unikovka, leaving the Ukrainian defenders in Unikovka cut off and in a difficult position. Meanwhile, Ukrainian sources report that Russian first-person view (FPV) drones have begun operating in the outskirts of Sumy, targeting and destroying Ukrainian military equipment. Russian helicopters rain fire on Ukrainian positions according to TV Zvezda, citing Russia's Ministry of Defense. A strike group from the Russian Army Aviation, part of the aerospace forces, launched air-to-ground missile attacks on Ukrainian positions in the southern operational zone. The strike group included Ka-52M Alligator reconnaissance attack helicopters, Mi-28NM Night Hunter attack helicopters, and multi-role Mi-8 helicopters. The crews used unguided S-8 rockets to hit their targets. After completing the mission, the helicopters performed evasive maneuvers, activated onboard defense systems, and returned safely to base.